Welcome everyone to Don't Fear Finance. Today we'll talk about a topic that is quite important for financial freedom. It is the best investing advice for someone in their 20s. The reason I say this is super important for the financial freedom topic is because of one big thing: compound interest. I won't get into that too much in this video because it is a very long and important story, but I will say that if you invest in your 20s or even in your teens, then you'll be able to retire comfortably without counting pennies. This is one of the big ways that you can retire without freaking out about what you're going to spend every month. I got this idea from the YouTuber Stephans, who is a very smart man when it comes to investing, saving money, and making money. I'll leave his channel link down below in the description. I got a lot of these facts and ideas from his videos, so definitely go check that video out after this one. Anyways, let's get into the video, but before we continue, make sure to like and subscribe, as well as comment down below saying that you did, because I'll be responding to all of your comments. There are a few things that are very important before we get into the investing portion of this video. Don't worry, 50% of this video is still going to be talking about investing. First, let's talk about the little habits that you should have before you get into investing and making lots of money so you can retire with way more money invested and in the bank than you know what to do with. The first thing is paying off bad debts. Paying off debts is super important because that's what holds people back the most, alongside mortgages, liabilities, and in general stupid purchases. There are two big things that come to mind when I think of bad debt. The first one, of course, would be college or university debt. The reason I say of course is because there are so many people who go to university for no reason or just because their parents tell them to. In reality, it's not as important as people make it out to be when you think about it. Now, if you're going into a profession that you need to go to university for, such as a nurse, lawyer, doctor, those type of professions, then it's a requirement. But if you don't need to go to university for that job, then don't. Or if you don't know what to do yet, then either take some time off from school or go to a community college and take some courses you are interested in before making the university decision. The second bad debt I think of is credit card debt. So many people go into credit card debt because they're buying things they can't afford and don't need. Don't buy things you can't afford. It's just common sense, people. The third thing you should do before investing a lot or while you're investing is to build up your credit score. How do you do this? Well, there are a couple ways, so here's one. Get a credit card, put some money on it, buy a couple things per month with it, then pay it off at the end of the month on time. Never miss a payment. Credit scores are built on reliability, so if you're unreliable with paying back your debts and credit cards, then your score is going to go down. But if you're on top of this stuff, then you can have an incredible credit score by the time you're 30. You may also be asking, why do I need a credit score? Well, having a good credit score gets you better deals on mortgages, loans, etc. This is an investment that will pay off later on in life when you want to buy a house, or if you want to get a loan or apply for a mortgage, or if you're getting into real estate, just get loans and mortgages on different houses so you can get better deals and you can make more profit. This is something that will definitely help you out later on in life, so I'll consider this as an indirect asset. The next thing you should do before and during the time you invest is to live like you're poor, or in other words, live as frugally as possible. If you live on a tight budget when you don't have to, then you'll free up a lot of money that you can invest, save, and put into your future. It's very smart to do this in your 20s. You can do this without much judgment because you're young and you probably won't have a family, and it's way more accepted now rather than in your 30s, 40s, and especially your 50s. Do this and I promise you'll be able to invest money much easier. The first bit of investing advice that you should know about in your 20s is to open up a retirement account. This is something that everyone can do. This is something that is really simple and easy to do, as well as something that will yield great returns when you retire later on in life. This is a great thing to do because you can do this while working a 9 to 5 or living off of a regular person's salary. If you invest in this consistently, then you can have huge returns. There's so many examples of people who earning $1.2 million just from investing $200,000 over a span of 30 years. Retirement accounts are super beneficial because they're a shining example of what compound interest can do over a course of time. It's sad to see that people overlook this investment. It's a simple and easy and such a good investment for people who are in their 20s and aren't planning on becoming the next Jeff Bezos. A lot of retirement accounts can also be used as tax write-offs, but I'll save that for another video. The next item on our list is, of course, high-yielding investments. Now, there are many types of investments out there. The investments I'm going to be talking about now are much riskier than a retirement account. The first one is probably the least risky stock market investment on our list. It's an index fund. This essentially means that you are investing in many different profitable stocks instead of just one. This makes sure that you're not putting all of your eggs in one basket. This is less risky, but there are fewer returns and fewer losses. Why? Well, when one stock goes down in value, then the rest of the stocks in a way make up for that loss. This also means that if a company does well, then the returns of an index fund won't increase as much because the other companies balance out the profits, gains, etc. Then there are bonds that are probably safer than index funds but have lower returns because it's government funded. When you buy a bond, you're giving money to the government that they will have to pay a certain amount of interest on. Bonds are in some sort of way leased. You're saying that you'll hold the bond for a certain amount of time, and at the end of that period of time, the government will have to pay that back with interest. The third and final investment that you can make is in stocks. Stocks are the riskiest thing on our list, but they do have the higher returns and greater losses because companies can be unreliable with profits, losses, gains, etc. But there are stocks that are quite safe in the long run, such as a bank. Banks have a straight line going up because they have a higher return rate than they have a loss rate, and they aren't expanding as much as other companies. On the other hand, we have a company such as Tesla, which is up and down with profits and losses. This is because they're specializing in a competitive and new market as well as expanding all the time. This isn't an investment, but it is a concept that helps you grow your money easily with little stress within the investments you make. It's just to buy and hold. Studies show that people who time the market make a lot less in profits than people who keep investing, no matter if the market is crashing or if it's at its peak. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, this is all due to compound interest. If you only look at things that will make you money in the long term, then you're more likely to make more money than the people who only look at things that make them money in the short run. The reason why investing works so well is because of compound interest and buying and holding. Do this with your investments and it's guaranteed you'll make more money than the people who wait and wait and wait. Investing smart in your 20s is probably the best thing you can do for your future alongside taking care of your body and mind. I know some of these things on our list didn't seem like investments, but they really are. They either set you up to be able to invest a good chunk of your money or give high returns in the long run. Some of these investments will hardly look like that for a long time, but that's alright. Believe in the power of compound interest, people. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Comment down below what your favorite investing tip was. Mine was to always buy and hold your investments. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.